Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Full Potential Show. I'm James Rick, and this is your #1 non-boring source for personal development. And today on the line, we have Pamela McQuade. She is the author and beauty icon. The book is called Spiritually Rich and Sexy, A Woman's Guide to Becoming Infinitely Attractive. And I have a little insider information. This works for men, too. The website is spiritualitysexy.com, and if you hang on to the end of the interview, we're going to tell you how to get a free downloadable copy of The Science of Getting Rich. This book has been an award-winning finalist of nonfiction best books in 2011, and here we are with Pamela live in the flesh. Actually, not in the flesh, in the virtual, digital flesh. Pamela, so glad to have you on the show today.
Thank you. Wonderful to be here.
Well, it's good to have you. I want to talk about what was the inspiration behind your book, Spiritually Rich and Sexy, and you know, how can people start becoming spiritually rich and sexy?
Exactly. So, wow, what a message. When I wrote this book, originally it was because of my life story, and I think that's how it starts so often. I had grown up and lived a life of such extreme adversity, struggle, limitation, all of those things. And I really inherently knew, I guess this was about 8 years ago, things started changing within me where I knew that I was not meant to live a life like this, that I was destined for better, that I could change my life. And that's really when the spiritual unfolding started. Go ahead.
So at what age were you when, and you just kind of, you knew this, you had this expectation for yourself, or did it just kind of come all of a sudden?
Well, you know, I grew up, when I was very little, I would term myself to be what some people say is sort of a mystical soul. So I had a lot of very magical, heavenly types of experiences when I was young.
Boy, that sounds like a rough childhood.
I tell you, it was wonderful, but what started happening is then you go to school and you start learning that this isn't normal. So I started shutting down what I'm going to say was my spiritual connection, because we all have that, but I started not listening to the voices and everything that was going on and showing up for me. So what happened now in looking back is I realized that the path that I was on, and a lot of the struggle started, you know, in the household when I was little with my parents and different things that I grew up with. So I went through, you know, I hate to admit, 2 decades of pretty extreme limitation, you know, the struggle to survive, you know, the victimhood, the whole 9 yards, and I've experienced so much. So what happened in my late 30s was I started coming back to that spiritual place. I really shut that down, and it awakened within me. And then major change started happening for the better. But what I didn't know then is really what the preface of this book is about. I talk about 3 principles: raising your consciousness, cleansing and healing your body, and filling your heart with love.
Whoa. Raising consciousness,
cleansing and healing your body, and filling your heart with love. And that's the premise of the book. How do you become and remember the keys that we're all given to what I always talk about as heaven is in your heart. So I was living an experience of hell for a long period of time. I knew inherently from these childhood experiences that I had, I started remembering that listen, I'm not meant to live this way. I can change this. So that's when my spiritual quest began, to discover heaven, that we really are all children of a divine mother and father, and we're here to understand and recognize and remember our divine heritage. So it's really simple. It's finding your happiness, your bliss, your abundance, your love, but it takes a lot of work sometimes.
It is a lot of work, but it is worthy of us, and we're worthy of it. I mean, it is the most important work. So let's define raising consciousness. What does it mean to raise consciousness?
That's when you're raising your awareness. And I love to use the example because I really feel like 2012, the year that we're in the year of love. And to raise your awareness and your consciousness is really, in my mind, getting to the unconditional love that you are. that is a very bold and difficult stance, given how so many experiences of maybe how people have been raised or what they've experienced in their life. That is the path that I've been on. And so to actually realize this is tremendous. And there are so many ways that you can do this. It can just be an intention that you set, finding in each moment, and this is where people go wrong, in a lot of ways, we're always looking to our past. You've got to cleanse and heal that. You've got to cut the ties to the pain and to what has limited you. You can't look into the future, talk about the power of now. I mean, it's so important, and how you do that is in every moment you wake up and you say, what makes me happy today? If people could just do that, and in every moment forget about what's gone on in the past. I mean, obviously that needs to be healed. That's another subject.
Another book entirely.
Yeah, so to be in that space of happiness, because that's when you create. You create when you're in a state of bliss and happiness, and that is our natural state. But wow, look where the world is at. We have some work to do.
So, and this is a paradigm shift. It's the idea that we're not in the pursuit of happiness. Happiness is always there. We just keep throwing other junk down the pipe so we don't realize it. So raising consciousness is really about raising awareness to the happiness that's already there and cutting out the distortions that stop you from realizing it.
Absolutely right. See, look at you. You're spiritually rich and sexy.
Thank you.
I love it.
One of the things that you said is very simple yet very profound, and I've noticed this in my own journeys as well, is intention. It seems like such a simple thing, but I think that all of spiritual cause that eventually produces the effects that show up in the form of life have their start in intention, and that's one of the most powerful things we have available to us. And like you said, it's the most simple, but over time, resetting our intention on things of love and everything else, or whatever we're working towards, is really the most critical aspect, I think, to this whole idea of raising awareness and raising consciousness.
I agree.
So let's talk about cleansing and healing your body. What are some of the steps that you go through in order to do that?
Well, there are so many ways. I really, bless you, I really turned to a very mystical way in terms of actual healing types of methods. But you know what? It can be as simple as taking a salt bath, doing things that you don't normally do. People think, I think, in society that there's one way, and it's this. If we are not drowning it out through addictions, we finally hit rock bottom and we go see a counselor. And that's great. But we're forgetting the body-mind-soul connection. So what happens is, if there is one simple thing you can do, it's to literally, within yourself, set the intention, I am transforming my life through forgiveness and love. And it has to work. The pain and what you go through has to work through. Spiritually, it has to work. You've got to change your belief systems. You've got to change your vibration, which is about raising awareness. And it comes out the body, massage, acupuncture, salt baths, exercise. All of this comes in conjunction together to help you heal. But there is no way to heal if you're not willing to forgive.
And so what I hear you saying is that the overall landscape today is an overemphasis on the physical, and to the extent that it's actually neglecting our mental and spiritual and the impact that those dimensions of our life have on our physical.
Exactly. I feel like right now, and this is coming back into balance, but I do feel like people definitely have forgotten their spiritual connection, their body connection, and how this integrates holistically to bring forth healing. I mean, we do, of course, have to look at our belief systems. And even today, I question everything. You should question everything. Don't believe what I say. Keep seeking, keep looking, keep asking the question, who am I?
Especially if you watch Fox News, I think. You really have to question hard.
Yeah.
All right, so this overemphasis on physical, we need to raise our awareness about our mental and our spiritual, and through that unfolding process, like you said, it needs to work through setting our intention to really have the juice in this multidimensional experience, and what I call living at a level 10. in these major areas. You start cleansing and healing your body. And the last point really, I think, is all about intention, and that is filling your heart with love. Can you touch on that?
Yes, as you heard me mention earlier, it's all about unconditional love. Now, I tell you, I've walked this path too. It is very challenging to have unconditional love. And unconditional love, pure love, really is about looking to others' best interests and loving them and seeing their beauty and light no matter what. No matter, I mean, I've had, husbands cheating, I've been in dark places. And so to really come through different things, and people have, there's abuse that goes on out there. There's so many things. And so, as I say this, I've walked this path. I've been able to come through so many instances and completely transform it. And it is worth the journey because it's hard to get there. But when you go through that and you recognize that, we are attracting like energy into our lives. And if you're attracting a situation, a person, it's because it's something that's unhealed. The goal here is to be whole. And when you find that connection and you become that, it really is true that your whole world changes. And it's magnificent. And so the heart piece is the whole piece. The whole reason we're here is to love.
Powerful. What are some things, like real things, that we can do to feel that, to get there, to get to wholeness? I think there's so many people in this world that say, I want to be loved. I want to love. And there's this romanticized idea of what love is all about, and it's closely linked to lust and, in our marketing and everything. But what can you do specifically, or what have you done to create more light in your heart and to love more? Is it just an intention thing? Is there some secret to this, or what is the formula?
There are keys to this. That's such a great question, because that's the thing. People don't have the tools. And so this is it. The first thing, and this is kind of encompassing my book and why I wrote this, so this is a great question. Inherently, I write in this book all about gemstones. Really, we are this rare and perfect gemstone, but we don't realize our own luster. We do not realize that we're pure love. Because we have all of these experiences, we've forgotten our divine connection and all of these things. So to love ourselves is the first thing. Okay, how do we love ourselves? People really do think they give. I'm giving all of this, which was me. I used to have what I termed the disease to please. I was such a pleaser because I felt like if I could please everyone, I'd be happy. It doesn't work that way. You have to find within yourself the love that you are. And when you do that, things change. So how do you do that? One way is forgiveness. I keep speaking of forgiveness. You've got to forgive.
It also sounds like it's an internal journey too. You have to set your intention, not externally attached, more internally driven. And that's a big shift. Just, so many lives and so much time is spent for external validation, external approval, and feedback. And what I hear you saying is that the start of your journey is actually here, and you're going within.
Everything we need to know is within us already. It's getting to that information. So gratitude and appreciation are huge. You hear this. People say keeping gratitude journals. I'm talking true gratitude, understanding that everything that you've ever desired in your life, you have already co-created that. Be in gratitude for everything that you've been given, because I always look at it like this, we're heavenly children of the Heavenly Father and Mother, and everything is ours for the taking. We are the only ones closing off the door. And so gratitude opens that up when you can look in your life. And I'm even talking about all of my experiences that had been so rough in the past. I look now and I am at such an eternal, every person that helped me in that way, who most people would say those are your enemies, those are my sacred divine friends to come in and teach me these incredible lessons that have helped me find my inner beauty. It's priceless. So that's the stuff that you're in gratitude, meditation, real prayer, where you open your heart and really pray from a level of gratitude again. I'm always in gratitude prayers, as well as asking for what we're needing for our next steps.
So I hear some of the specifics are, having that intention to really grow these areas first. Secondly, looking at everything in your life and appreciating it, even those people that push our buttons, because they're pushing buttons that we didn't know existed until they pushed them. And now they're an opportunity to forgive, to love, to move into gratitude, and to release that point, that button from ever affecting our life again. I think really that's the process of like neutralizing our expectation of anything outside of ourselves to a point where we're just in a state of peace, right? I mean, just no matter what's going on, we're in a state of peace.
Whoever ticks you off at any level, it always is like the first sign that you open up and go, okay, I've got to examine this, because there is nothing outside of you. If someone shows up and they have any way to get to you, if it's a situation, if it's a comment, whatever it is, it means that is still unhealed within you. And so that's when you go in and you say, okay, what about this holds true for me? And how could I look at this differently? How can I heal this within myself? And I guarantee you, it goes back to something that had been triggered for a long time. It's your subconscious's way of bringing forth the stuff that's ready to be healed so that you can let it go and go on to what's next.
And it's always relevant to now. So if you're being ticked off now, it's because you needed to work on it now.
Exactly.
I love this. After 15 minutes with you, Pamela, I'm already feeling more spiritually rich and sexy, and I'm not even a woman. So it does work for men as well. The book is Spiritually Rich and Sexy, A Woman's Guide to Becoming Infinitely Attractive. The website is spiritualitysexy.com, and we're going to deliver on our promise, a downloadable copy of The Science of Getting Rich. Also encourage you to check out the website and get a copy of the book. Where can they pick up a copy of The Science of Getting Rich for free?
Okay, it's on spiritualitysexy.com. Go under products and services, and it says on there free gift, and you just download it.
Okay, the website is spiritualitysexy.com. Again, the book is Spiritually Rich and Sexy, A Woman's Guide to Be.
That's my book, yes. My book is available on my website on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. The Science of Getting Rich is the free gift that they can get from my website. And it's wonderful, too.
And they're both wonderful, so make sure you get both of them. Check out the website. Pamela, you are wonderful. Thank you for being on today's Full Potential Show.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
It's been great. Thank you. Well, that concludes this week's episode of the Full Potential Show, your #1 non-boring source for personal development. I'm James Rick, and if you want to get more positive programming for your brain absolutely free on a weekly basis, just visit fullpotential.com.
If you like the Full Potential Show, you're going to love the Full Potential Club. What would you like most as a Full Potential Club member? Be 2 to 3 times more productive? Do what you're passionate about? Have more energy? Reduce your work hours? Travel the world? Enjoy an amazing lifestyle on a frugal budget? What if you could do them all? James Rick has been there and done it in ways that few people have. For anyone serious about taking their life or business to the next level, you know you've got to do more than just watch. You've got to do. Join James Rick and other like-minded people for an incredible $10 a month at fullpotential.com/club. Be educated. Be empowered. Be the best version of you. fullpotential.com/club. Try it free for 30 days.